Welcome back to the homestead. I'm going to show you how I turn this into this. Rendered beef tallow. We're going to have to chop these up into smaller pieces and run them through our grinder. The more surface area you have, the faster it's going to melt and the more of it is actually going to render. Put about an inch or two of water in the bottom of my pot and a little bit of salt. Salt water is going to bond with all those impurities that cannot be filtered with a strainer, and then they're going to settle out as this fat hardens. Make sure your stove is on the lowest setting that it'll go. You want to melt this, not cook it. Have all these little bits and pieces of meat and sinew that was in the fat. The pieces inside have stopped getting smaller, so I know I'm not going to get any more out of them. It's time to strain it off. Use this cool scoop to get most of the solids out, and then I strain it through a cloth to get my gold. This clearly shows you the impurities that are still in this fat. These are the things that we're going to be rendering out to make it shelf stable and usable. You can just set it out on the porch or in a back room somewhere, cold, garage, something like that, so it's going to set up overnight. Or if you don't want to wait overnight or it doesn't get cold where you are, you can just put it in the fridge. You want it to be hard. I'm going to see if I can do this in one piece. This is a very big bowl. See all the water on the bottom is all the impurities and the dirty water. We're going to throw this out. We're going to scrape this off. This is not a finished product. This is not rendered fat. This is just melted fat. Now we're going to start the rendering process. How do we do that? Well, we're going to cut it up. We're going to put it back into our pot. Going to add some more water to wash it off. Bring it back onto the heat, melt it down, then pour it back into our bowl to let it solidify overnight and start all over. Fat is hardened, water's separated, water's still cloudy, and there is still debris on the bottom of the fat. It's not clean yet, so scrape that nasty discoloration off. And repeat. Chop, pot, water, melt, pour, harden. Repeat that process until when you take your fat off the water is crystal clear, and then you'll have nice, clean, properly rendered tallow that you can use to make everything from lotions to baking with.